Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to share with you a book that I created called Oscar's Book. It's a Sesame Street little golden book, and the let's see, the copyright date is 1978. Sesame Street was becoming popular, I guess, when I was in like late elementary school, early middle school, probably late elementary. But anyway, I remember, watching it. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did, watch it. We didn't have the millions of channels that are out there available now. So when you got home from school, you watched, whatever was available that was not an adult show, because couldn't stand any of that. So yeah, I watched Sesame Street, even though it was a little geared more for younger kids, but didn't care at the time. They were really cute little characters. And yeah, so I found this book, Oscar's Book. I thought it was super cute and loved the colors, the primary, the reds, blues, greens, some bright yellows in there. It's a very bright colored book. And decided that when I made this journal, I wanted to use up scraps that are piling up in my scrap box, not really being used for much. And so you'll see a lot of scrap paper, a lot of the scrapbook papers are scraps from other projects. I've got cutoffs from the green ledger paper. I've got some vintage ledger paper, the like cream colored with blue lines, and some modern day plain grid paper. And let's see, we've got handwriting papers and some junk mail. Yeah, so I just wanted to take some things that I wasn't currently using touching very much, and try to get them used up. So what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be producing like a little series of these Sesame Street little golden book journals, and I will be placing them in my Etsy shop. This one is not listed yet, but soon after the video goes up, I'll after it gets loaded, I'll go ahead and work on the listing. I've already done the photos and written down my information that I want to put in there, so it shouldn't take very long to get that put up. But keep your eye out if you're interested in this. Maybe Oscar's not your favorite character. I've got Big Bird, and I've got Bert and Ernie, and I think maybe an Elmo book. I'm not sure about that, but I know I have another Oscar's book. I'll probably be doing another one of these. I absolutely adore this journal. I like it a whole lot more than I thought I would. My goal was to literally try to quickly throw it together. Well, anything I do is not quickly done. I overthink things way too much, but I did do better on this one than I have done on some previous journals. So yeah, there was a little more thought put into it than what I originally had planned. But that being said, it's fine. It turned out super cute, I think, and if it doesn't sell, I would love to use it, myself. Or if not, if it does sell, I can make, like I said, I've got another copy of this. I can make myself one out of that one. So anyway, here we go. The cover is in fairly good shape. I just wiped it off. To neaten up the edges, I just used some white duct tape on the front and the back, and I used some ribbon here, or trim. It's a green and blue and white sort of vintage look. It's not vintage, but it has that kind of look, trim here, just to make that a little neater. Added some brightly colored ribbons on the O-rings. I used my Zutter Bind-It-All to bind it. Oh, before I get moving, it's 8 by 7 inches. It's about 1.5 inches thick, and all of the original book pages are included. They are in order, so you could read it as a story. And there are 40+ pages in the book. So here we go. The title page, Oscar's Book. And Oscar living in a trash can. I tried to, I thought it was really cool to, think about recycling things. And, that's what we do when we create a lot of our junk journals or any kind of journals. And so where I could, I put in a few things related to recycling and conservation, that type thing. So anyway, this shows that the copyright was 1978, and it's the 7th printing of the book. So, oh, another point, all of the original book pages I have reinforced with some type of, you know, washi tape. Let me get that little piece right there. This is just a piece of green line paper. I made it a little flip up, and I found a set of these Sesame Street trading cards on eBay. They are so cute. They have the little characters, and then on the back it has, you know, some random information, and riddles and jokes are on the bottom of most of them. They're from '92. I think all of the sets that I saw originated in '92. Yeah, so there are a couple of those I've included in here that, you know, are related to Oscar. Okay, some scrapbook paper with some hem, I think that's hem binding. I made a little booklet out of a scrap of paper and little ledger scraps, and added a price tag at the top and tucked it into this vintage Rolodex card that I sewed in as a tuck spot. I used to teach, so I have leftover plan books, and this is a sheet from one of my plan books, one of my older plan books actually, when I first started. So I made that into a page that flips out. And you'll notice at the top I have the letter O up here and G on the back for Oscar the Grouch. I thought that was cute. Those are little vintage letter cards I got from a seller on eBay or Etsy. This may have been an Etsy, I don't know. It was a long time ago. And the kids, you know, could just use them to spell out, you know, words. Super cute. I haven't used those a whole lot, so that was another thing. See, I pulled out to try to use up. It's crazy to have this cool stuff and then never, you know, put it in anything, just hoard it. Original book page, scrapbook page with vintage stamps at the top. Just a cool yellow card from the post office. This is a green ledger sheet that I made a fold out, and I did some stamping in navy, and that is archival ink, so it's permanent and should not smear. And on the back is a little envelope from our local library, Friends of the Public Library, for you to make, you know, donations to. So there's a little pocket you could tuck things into there. And behind it, the way I sewed it in, I left the back open, I mean the top open, so you could tuck this tag in. And it has another one of the Sesame Street trading cards about Oscar. It's Oscar the Grouch and a fish, and this flips open. And you have a little secret or hidden journal spot here out of the, oh, what do you call that? Lesson plan, my teacher lesson plan book. And then on the back, I put another piece of that paper and sewed that on and just embellished with a little piece of green material. Original book page, Project Life card. This is a piece of painty paper that I did, and it flips up, and I just put in some blue and white grid paper, sewed that in, and attached some little pieces of sheer material that I got, I'm pretty sure, from Gina at the Red Bookery. Super sweet, cute material. On some scrap paper, some Monopoly, vintage Monopoly money. This is just a picture card that you would use probably at school or with your kids at home when they're little. You know, it's a language learning card, and I found them at our local thrift shop. And I just thought the wagon was cute with the theme and the colors and everything. And on the back, I sewed on a piece of ledger paper for journaling, and embellished with a vintage sheet from you know, the stamp saber books people used to use and then shop from, and attach some of the stamps to that. Original book page with the feed sack tab or tag. This is just a giant playing card with dogs dressed up like names. They're so funny. Yeah, I thought they were cute. And it's a Joker, I think. Yep. Another scrap of paper with ticket embellishment, and on the back I had a scrap of this music paper, and I made it a pocket and added some Monopoly money. And here I have 2 pieces of handwriting paper to get back together, and I've stitched around it and added a little ribbon tab up at the top. Original book page. This is a scrap of paper with a vintage flashcard and some more of that vintage material I got from Gina's shop, and just ruffled it on. Painty paper that I made, and on it I sewed a North Carolina lottery ticket. And then I have a piece of junk mail. It's from my electric company, and I just love the color of the yellow. It was perfect for this book, and it's a little pocket. And I just have some vintage cute ladybug brightly colored playing cards in there. You know, you can use those to make your own ATCs, or use them as tuck spots in your journal. Original book page. Oh, this is my favorite page right here. Not only is it very colorful, you know, you can see that, that's quite obvious, but I have had this brochure from our Beaufort town hall. I went in to pay my water bill one time years ago. That's how long I've had this. And when we moved to this house about 3 years ago, I found this and was just getting into mixed media art and stuff, and so I love the color of it, didn't throw it away, and I've held on to it somehow all these years. And I found it when I was working on this book, you know, rifling through my junk mail box, and thought, oh my gosh, how perfect, because it's recycling, you know, with Oscar living in his trash can. So it was just perfect. And I sewed on this bright yellow triangle, and on this side I sewed on another piece of junk mail, just an envelope, but it had the window in it, and I made a tag to go in that. Let me pull this over here. Just use bright colors again, and then added a piece of grid for journaling on the back. Sewed that on. And behind this, if you want to, see, you can tuck in behind that. See how you can't see that through the window? There's actually another pocket back there. That really wasn't intentional. Anyway, it just worked out that way. I attached another piece of play money from some other game here as a, you know, tuck spot. I have a bunch of different types of these cards, so I think there are 2 or 3 in this book. Yep, here's another one. Piece of painty paper I did as a tuck spot. And in the center, you've got a couple of pieces of vintage ledger paper for journaling. So that's just super fun. And then back here, you can also tuck something in. Let me find another, excuse my arm. Yeah, I'll just grab another tag so you could tuck something in, you know, back here. Truthfully, I thought, there it is. I knew I had something tucked in there. Just couldn't see it right then. There. Piece of junk mail, essentially. Just some stuff I ordered, and I love the envelope. I love the inside of it. It's a real pretty blueprint, and love the stamp. And I was amazed that the post office did not, you know, put their marks canceling out the stamp, but they didn't. So anyway, that's in here for you to use. I'll leave it sticking out a little bit so you don't miss it like I just did. And then on this side, we've got a very bright piece of paper that I just folded the bottom up and turned into, sewed it up, you know, into a pocket. And I embellished the top with an energy conservation stamp. I think that's kind of old. And an old money wrapper. And on the inside, I put one of those saver books, little booklets, you know, vintage one of those. And I got these Morton memo sheets off of Etsy, and I cannot remember the seller that I got these from, and I wish I could. See how it's aged up at the top? It's darkening. I love that. And then a vintage tally score card that's really cute and bright. On the back we have Linus, just a little calendar square from one of those calendar cubes, and a tea stain tag. I got those from Hedgerow Secrets. She's over in the UK, and attached some, just stapled on some of the little saver stamps, ledger paper, scrap paper, original book page, scrap paper with a scrap piece of material, and a Project Life card, vintage ledger with a piece of scrap material. There, got that glue off. Some kind of vintage accounting paper. It's thick though, like card. It's a lightweight card. Original book page, and on the back I attached this scrap paper and added a tab to it with a money coin wrapper right here. It's orange and brown. I love it. And you fold it down, and there are two notepad papers for journaling. Do some secret journaling in there. Piece of a scrap of paper, and then a red envelope that I had, and added this sewed on a stamp or piece of postage stamp. And inside I just tucked several different types of the papers that I've used in this book, and some may not have been, but they were in my junk box. I think this yellow's in here. I know the blue is, and then this black, and like that's double-sided, so you could use any of that. That's you, either side of that. Oh wait, there's another piece of the grid. Okay. Let's get everybody together. There we go. Okay, vintage ledger paper, original book page. And then this page is a scrap of paper that I made a flip out. I added one of the calendar cubes from the Peanuts and tucked a vintage playing card in there. It just has a cute little kitty cat image. And its partner cards are owls that have the big eyes, and you'll see the partner card is in here too, actually. On the back, I made a pocket with some green scrap paper, added an alteration tag in this part that folds, and then on the back I added two Project Life cards in there. And in this Charlie Brown calendar cube page, I added 3 of the vintage, I don't know, vocabulary cards, and I think they are German words on the back, and then it translates to the English on the front. And we'll just tuck those right in there. Piece of bright yellow lined paper, and I embellished that with a ribbon that I sewed on, ruffled it as I sewed it on. Yeah. Original book page, scrap paper with some fabric on the side, Rolodex card as a tuck spot. And then this is kind of fun. This side, it has a lot of little things. I added this note card that's just blank inside for you to do journaling. And when I attached it, I left the top open so you have a little tuck or pocket there. And I added this, made sure I added ribbon to this so that it didn't slip down inside and get lost. So be careful of that. and that is attached to a piece of purple painty paper. And then in here, this was an original book page, and I don't remember what it had on it. I think it was plain. Yeah, it was plain. So I just sewed a piece of scrap paper to it, made it a pocket, and on top, as I was sewing it, I just slipped in a title deed from Monopoly, and that can actually be used as a tuck right there too. So that's kind of fun. Okay, here's the owl, the card that matches the kitty cat, and that's like a little tuck. I put just a skinny little tag in there, and made this a flip out, this blue line paper, and a piece of scrap paper and Project Life card. Here's the back, it says documented. This says be yourself, be true, be amazing, and be kind. Scrap paper embellishment, and this is a piece of scrap paper. It's yellow brick. It flips up like that, and I just embellished it with a little, they're like stickers, but they're not, just some kind of little embellishment flake. It looks like a little window. I thought that was cute on there, like a little tab. Okay, then the back page, I found my CD. No, these aren't the ones I had. I have some color ones, but I purchased these off of Etsy, I'm pretty sure. I think from Stephanie at Above Par Crafts. I got these CD covers. And the very last page of the story, Oscar's telling people to go away. And so it was so funny. I just happened to have this page from a kid's, children's storybook, and it has this image of these people walking away out of the scene, and so I was like, oh my god, how perfect is that? So I cut it down and put it inside the little CD holder. You can get to it in there, and there's a little tab at the top out of fabric. And then the back cover, I put on a library pocket with a card, tucked inside, embellished it with a piece of washi tape, and I got some really cool wooden handled old stamps off of eBay, and it was a set of 6, I think, and got them for like $8 or something crazy like that. This one has just a big 01 on it, and this one has first class mail. They're fabulous. A couple of them are ones that, like, when you go to the store, and, well, they don't do it anymore because they have the electronic readers, but they would take the stamp out and take your check, and you would have written your check out, and then they turn it over, stamp it, and write your information on the back, that kind of thing, before they deposit it. Yeah, so I've got a couple of those. Anyway, they're really fun to play with. So I had just received that package of stamps when I was finishing up these books, so I had to use, one of them in here, so that was the one. And I finished off the, where the duct tape joins, finishes off on the book with some ribbon. So that's the book, Oscar's book, Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street. Oh, here's the back cover. This is one of my favorite back covers because these books, well, like this was printed in '78, and of course that was when I was growing up reading, and had, oh my gosh, I had tons of little golden books. I'm devastated we didn't save them, but live and learn. Anyway, this this design on the back cover, I think, was from that era only, and yeah, it brings back lots of childhood memories, looking at all the different characters. Yeah, so anyway, super cute book, I think. I hope you liked the book, and hope you enjoyed the video. So yeah, pop by my Etsy shop if you're interested. It's the Beaufort Belle, and take a look, and if it's not listed yet, it will be soon, and eventually I'll be doing videos on a few more of these Sesame Street little golden books. Yeah, using up some of my scraps and junk mail, and splashed with vintage items and ephemera. So A lot of fun. So check it out if you're interested. Hope to see you again soon with a new video. Bye.